What is up, guys? Dan here from AttitudeIron.com, and today we're going to go over my 5 favorite Mace movements. To start, you got to start with the core movement, and that is the Mace 360. Check out the link in the corner here if you would like a tutorial on the Mace 360. So basically, we're starting in our ready position, up, tip the hands, pull right back to the center, and we're going the same direction on these every time. You can switch sides, go the other way. Why the Mace 360 is so good is you are getting the basic movement pattern that sets you up to get a nice shoulder stretch and start working to bulletproof your shoulders. This is the core movement for almost all Mace and club work, okay? Number 2, we enjoy ourselves a little 10 and 2. So 10 and 2 is like the 360, but instead of pulling to the middle, we're essentially pulling toward our hips, so you'll be at a slight angle. So it's like being at 2 o'clock and 10 o'clock on a clock when it finishes. And then we're gonna reverse the direction, and then it'll come to the other hip. So very much the same mechanics as a 360. But stop and redirect it the other way. Has all the same benefits of the 360, but it is going to teach you a little more wrist control since you have to change that direction when you go for the next rep. Third movement, this one gets a little more complex. Will be a baby tutorial on it here. This is the bullwhip. So get your Indiana Jones hat on, and we're going around our body and throwing. So choke up on your mace. Single arm mills is more of a club movement, but I find that the bullwhip works extremely well for a mace. So if this is the front, we're actually standing sideways. We bring our elbow up and over. That is the first part, okay? Notice my mace is staying pretty much perpendicular to the floor, straight up and down. And then we're throwing an axe, so it swings back, right? So we're side swing, elbow up, hand down, throw. Elbow up, hand down, throw. That is your bullwhip. Okay? This is working a very crucial movement pattern for human movement, and that is a throw. So we're throwing a baseball, we're throwing a punch, we're setting up to throw a kick, we're still taking that shoulder over. That is a super important movement for the human body to work on, and that is probably, for me, the easiest way to get the feel for how to work it with a mace when I was first learning. If you got clubs, we can just go straight into it and not worry about that loop first. But I like the loop because it gives you a nice stretch, looks a little cool, feels a little different, and honestly works a little better with a mace than just going straight into mills. Number 4, and this is going to be a more basic movement. It's called a ballistic curl. There's 2 ways to do it. You can either, you can use your arm to help and pull up as you push down, and you can go to the top before you switch hands. This is called going to the prayer position. And that is going to be your easiest way to do it. Ballistic, meaning we're throwing it up and catching. Or how I like to teach it after you get the hang of that is we throw it up, we come down and throw and come back to the top. So the top, hands meet at the bottom, and then you grab the top again. And I will get into why I like that way a little better. It gets a little more wrist stability needed, right? We're also practicing that order position that we have to be in so many of our mace movements. If you're just wanting to get a bunch of curl work in, that's fine. Go to the middle, slide up. That's good stuff. But if you want to work into other things in the future and get better at more of your general mace work, coming down to the bottom is my favorite variation on it. Movement number 5. This is the uppercut. I feel like this is a very unsung hero in the mace world. So you will have a double overhand grip. You are scooping down with that arm and keeping up with this arm. Scoop down on the head side, up on the mace side. You're finishing twisted and then essentially like the Arnold statue pose. So we come down, boom, boom. You're getting some rotation here, you're getting some oblique support, and you'll start feeling your traps quite a bit as we're shrugging up as things come around, okay? Maces, super fun. With the uppercut, go ahead and reach all the way back up, scoop through. What we don't want is to turn it to more of an around movement. We want to come under, up with bent arms, okay? Now, that was the 5 individual movements that are my personal favorites, but bonus round, movements 6 and 7 are combining some of them, okay? Ballistic curling into a 360, super easy, and this is why I wanted to practice bring your hands to the bottom. So, ballistic curl to that order position. Now, we can do 360. Underhand, ballistic curl, 360. Underhand, ballistic curl, 360, okay? Bonus number 2, uppercut to 360. Double overhand, uppercut, shrug and throw it to that position, 360, overhand. So we can combine that ballistic curl or that uppercut into what's a 360 or 10 and 2. So that is how you combine some cool stuff. So really those are my 7 favorite ones to do, but that base 5 carries over into a lot of other stuff. So if you get good at those 5 things in your mace swinging, you're gonna have a pretty big arsenal of things you can do with your mace to mix things up, keep it fun, while you are building those shoulders and that core strength. Tune in, be sure to subscribe, and we'll get more coming for you. All right, if you guys found value in that video and you want to support the channel and my business, attitudeiron.com. If you want to get a hold of those maces or some fun shirts, some ebooks for training, that is where you head, attitudeiron.com.